Hi, you guys. It's Yaz, and today I'm going to talk about signs your mother is a covert narcissist. I was asked to do this podcast. Somebody wanted to know, can you please do a podcast on covert narcissistic mothers? So I'm going to give you guys signs that your mother may be a covert narcissist. Number one, a covert narcissistic mother is a witch like no other. She is the queen bee, but she pretends to be humble, and she especially pretends to be humble in front of other people. What a covert narcissistic mother does is she's worried about appearances. She's worried about what everybody else thinks about the family. She's the type of mother that will post on social media with her kids, her grandkids, and make like she has a loving family to all her friends. She wants all her friends and everybody else to think that she has this wonderful, loving family, that everything is great in the family. Meanwhile, the covert narcissistic mother picks favorites when it comes to her children, okay? The covert narcissistic mother always has a favorite, and that favorite is usually the golden child, and that favorite is usually narcissistic as well, okay? That sibling is a minion of the main covert narcissistic mother. That's the one that will validate the covert narcissistic mother. That's the one who will flatter the covert narcissistic mother, okay? And this is how people get scapegoated and, alienated and isolated. What the covert narcissistic mother does is she triangulates. She loves triangulation. She loves pitting sibling against another sibling. This is what she loves to do. The other thing about a covert narcissistic mother is she is very, very jealous. She's a jealous person. She's even jealous of her kids. It's a constant competition with a covert narcissistic mother, all right? The other thing about a covert narcissistic mother is she's very, very critical and judgmental. Instead of showing empathy towards you, what she's going to do is she's going to victim shame you. She's going to tell you that the reason that you're in the position that you're in is because you did it yourself. There is no heart. There is no love. Instead, she's just going to shame you. All right. You know why? Because she doesn't want to feel like she did anything wrong as a parent. So that's why when you go to a covert narcissistic mother with any kind of problems or anything like that, they don't want to be bothered. They don't want to be burdened. They will dismiss you. So a covert narcissistic mother is very dismissive. She may ignore you when you talk. She may be nice to everybody else and ignore you. She may not include you in things to have control over you, all right? The other thing, too, is the covert narcissistic mother doesn't want her children to get along and be loving with each other because she's worried that they will team up against her, all right? She's worried that they will team up against her, and she wants to have the control. So they have control when they pit sibling against sibling, all right? This way they are the center. The other thing with a covert narcissistic mother is she will use the silent treatment to punish you. This is so common amongst covert narcissistic mothers. Whenever you come to her and you try to have her take accountability, she will hang up the phone. She will go into a silent treatment. She won't even let you finish a sentence. And what she's going to do is she's going to label you crazy to everybody else in the family. And what are the flying monkeys in the family going to do? They're going to back her up. They're going to back her up. You know why? Because she has the power and the control. And why does she have the power and control? Because maybe she has money, all right? If she has money, she's going to definitely have flying monkeys that validate her and tell her, you're right, Mom, that person is wrong, all right? Because these people need the covert narcissistic mother for help. Maybe they need financial help, or maybe they just are in competition with you as well. They could be narcissistic as well, and they're in competition with you as well. And so they are going to back that toxic narcissistic mother to make you look bad, all right? Because they're jealous of you. That's what it comes down to. A lot of times they're jealous of you, or they worry about you because you're a truth teller, and they want to scapegoat you because they're afraid that you're going to call them out and expose them for their toxic behavior. See, in a covert narcissistic mother's mind, she feels she's the greatest thing that ever walked the earth. You are the ingrate. And one of the common things that you will hear from a covert narcissistic mother is that you're ungrateful, all right? The covert narcissistic mother may have done one or a few things for you, and she will never, ever let you live it down. Never, okay? And she feels that's a license to do whatever she wants because she gave birth to you, and she's the mother. You'll know you have a covert narcissistic mother, or narcissistic mother, rather, for that fact, by the attitude they have. Their attitude is, well, I'm the mother. And that also makes them feel entitled not to respect your boundaries. What boundaries? There are no boundaries when you're dealing with a covert narcissistic mother. Because if you don't beat to her drum, she will isolate you and leave you for dead. Okay? That is a fact. She will leave you for dead. You know why? Because her pride comes before everything else, even above her children. That's why she loves herself more than she loves her children, all right? And they also very, very cold people, very, very cold people. When you're going through something, a lot of times they don't even want to hear it. They don't even want to hear it because, you're the problem. If you have problems, you created them yourself, all right? So they have limited patience, but again, they want to look like they're the greatest mother that ever walked the earth. And they're going to try to appear like that to their friends and to other distant family members because they don't ever want that shame on them that there's a problem in the family. So they try to cover up. This is what they try to do. They try to cover up to other people. And if they feel that you're a threat, or they feel like you're trying to you're too strong for them, then they'd love to throw the mental card and explain to other people as well, there's something wrong with you and I've tried everything. And this is another thing that they do. They show fake empathy, all right? And they will do this in front of other people, a performance to pretend like they really care about you so that everybody thinks that you're the problem, all right? Because they just put on an Academy Award presentation in front of other people, pretending that they cared about you or something like that. And they love to gossip. When you deal with a covert narcissistic mother, she is going to be gossiping about you, probably to your siblings or to other people in the family. They just can't resist. Because if you, like I said, if you don't beat to their drum and tell them how wonderful they are, and you don't flatter them, you will be target A number one, all right? And they will have it in for you. And the biggest way that they try to get back at you is by shaming you, smearing you, gossiping about you to everybody else. And they want all those flying monkeys in the family to back them up and say, you're right, Mom. They're the ones with the problem, okay? Because they either fear that covert narcissistic mother or they need her for something. And some of them will actually do it because they're after their inheritances. This happens all the time, where you have shady, slimy, other covert narcissistic siblings who are after inheritances and who basically kiss ass, to the toxic, covert narcissistic mother to try to get their money. Also, when you're dealing with a covert narcissistic mother, she's not going to want to age. So she's going to do everything she can to try to look good and still feel like she's young. She's going to be getting plastic surgery. She's going to be buying tons of skin cream. She's going to be trying to dress young. She's going to be trying to give off that appearance of youth and young. And she's in her delusional world thinking that she's 22 years old, all right? So they don't age well. They really don't age well. And, it's just they're in competition with their kids, too. They don't, when you tell a covert narcissistic mother that you had some great accomplishment, you did well in school, or, you're an honor student, or you came into money, or you got a raise in your job, she's going to dismiss that, or she'll say something like, oh, that's nice. And then she's going to turn it to her. All right. She's going to turn it to her and talk about something great in her life because it's a competition. The other thing, too, with a covert narcissistic mother is she's going to also play the victim. All right. That's a given. So like when there's a dispute or something in the family, automatically she's going to say, I've done everything for everybody, and this is what I get. This is how everybody acts and everything like that. Automatically she becomes the victim. All right? Like, how dare anybody argue or call anything out or anything, in her eyes, she feels, she doesn't deserve that because she's the queen bee. She's queen bee. The other thing about a covert narcissistic mother is she is not fair and partial. Like I mentioned in the beginning of the podcast, she treats certain children better than other children. The children that flatter her ego, kiss up to her, she will favor them. She will prioritize them. She will get together with them and ignore the other children because they are the ones that are kissing up to the narcissist, all right? So there will be favoritism, all right? Because what she's doing is she is grooming that golden child to be just like her, and that golden child is just like her. Usually the golden child is can be narcissistic as well, and will align with the narcissistic mother, all right? So just understand this. When you'll know you have a covert narcissistic mother because she will be the ice queen. She will be the ice queen that will leave you for dead because her pride comes first. She doesn't put family first. She puts herself first. Okay? A covert narcissistic mother doesn't know the first thing about a loving family. She doesn't care about a loving family. She cares about herself. She cares about her image. She cares about her own simple pleasures. She doesn't care about, what's fair, partial. Everybody should love each other. Everybody should be included. She doesn't care about that. She's in her own delusional world. And she, like I said, if you don't beat to the drum, then she will totally, she will smear the hell out of you and gossip about you if you ever challenge her. And what she'll do, like I said, they love to use the silent treatment. They love that because it's a form of emotional abuse where they want you to come back begging and pleading with the covert narcissistic mother to talk to you. Don't ever do that. If she wants to do that, let her stay silent. You go, you live your life, all right? Because this is how she's going to control you. This is how she's going to have the power over you. She will also try to have the power over you with money. If she helps you out with money, she's going to try to control you with money. If you do something that she doesn't like, or you challenge her, or you tell her, you say something that she doesn't like, she may withhold the money from you. Maybe you're attending college or something like that, or whatever. They will try to control you with money. This is what narcissists do. So just understand this. You're not crazy, but what you're dealing with is a covert narcissistic mother who is fake, phony, pretends like she's a loving mother, but will leave you for dead, okay? That's a covert narcissistic mother, and who's worried about image to everybody else, and who's friendlier to strangers than she is to maybe some of her kids, all right? Like if she's out or something, she'll be more friendly with strangers than she will with her kids, and especially somebody that is the scapegoat. She will completely, dismiss them. They love, a covert narcissistic mother too can be a snob. Or she could be a Karen, all right? She could be a snob where she puts on this air where she thinks she's subtly better than everybody else, all right? And that's because of her deep-rooted insecurity. And she could also be the type of Karen that we call, quote unquote, a Karen, who's the type that, she's got to have the best table at a restaurant, or if the food isn't cooked the right way, she's going to be a nitpicker, send the food back. This is what she'll do. She'll keep sending the food back, all right, because she needs to control the situation. She thinks she is queen bee. She feels entitled to do and say whatever she wants. She doesn't believe in any boundaries. And when anybody challenges her, she may even start crying and playing the victim, okay? So there is no resolution with a covert narcissistic mother, because unfortunately, if you don't do what she wants you to do, she's just not going to deal with you. If she doesn't need you, and let's say she has other children that are in her life, then she doesn't care. She will write you off for dead. She just doesn't care, because again, remember what I'm telling you. Her pride comes first. Her pride comes first. And see, because she may do something for you, she feels she has a license to step on you, criticize you, judge you. The covert narcissistic mother is the one that's going to make the sarcastic joke. And then when you say something to her, she's going to say, I was just joking. Oh, you're so sensitive. This is what they love to say. They love to say, you're so sensitive. They could slight you. Like she might come to you and say, what's that on your face? Or why are you wearing that shirt? Or something like that. And if you say, well, what are you insulting me? You'll say, oh, you're so sensitive. I'm your mother. You're so sensitive. But she'll never, ever compliment you. Very rarely will you ever see a covert narcissistic mother ever compliment you. She won't do it, okay? Because she's jealous. She doesn't ever want to see her kids think that they're better than her, all right? She's always got to be the queen bee. She'll never give a compliment, and very rarely will she even say thank you, all right? She feels entitled, all right? And she will call you ungrateful. If you hear that all the time, you could be dealing with a covert narcissistic mother. But the way you're really going to know about a covert narcissistic mother is that she can't communicate directly, all right? She can't sit down. She can't own it. She will totally run silent on you, go no contact with you, run a smear campaign on you. She will be judgmental, critical. You will never be good enough. All right. It's a no-win situation with a covert narcissistic mother, because she's an evil bitch. That's what she is. She's an evil bitch that's only concerned about herself. All right. I'm not saying that she won't care about her kids. She may care about her kids, but trust and believe she cares about herself more. Not only that, what they do is they gaslight all the time to get out of taking accountability. So they'll say you're insecure. They'll say you're crazy. They'll say you have mental problems. They'll say, oh, well, we had a family get together. We didn't include you because we were doing you a favor. That is gaslighting. All right. They will say, there's always a problem with you. They'll call you angry because you're calling them out and they're disrespecting you. So automatically they'll say you have anger issues. They will always make you the problem anytime you try to call them out for the accountability, because they don't ever want to be accountable. Not ever. All right. So understand, you will deal with a covert narcissistic mother, and usually there's a cult of flying monkeys behind her, validating her. That's the way it goes, and that is the truth, all right? So the thing is, you guys, it's not you. You're dealing with a damaged, insecure person who's not fair, not partial, can't sit and even hear you out. That is a damaged person. A person who can't sit and listen to you is a person that, number one, doesn't really care about you, is mad disrespect. They're not respecting you because they can't sit and talk to you like a human being and a person. They just can't handle you calling them out on the truth. They can't handle it. So they have to just run This is what they do because they're cowards. Covert narcissists are cowards. They run when you're too strong for them, and they will smear you to everybody else. This is what they do. This is how toxic they are because they can't handle the truth and they can't handle ever being wrong. You're the problem. They'll blame you for everything. They don't ever want you to ever be right. They also always have to have a scapegoat. Always. There's always got to be somebody who is the target so that they could feel superior, and they just love to gossip about everybody else behind their back. Target that person because that person is too strong for the covert narcissistic mother, and that person is not taking the covert narcissistic mother's bullshit, all right? So, I'm on my preach this morning, all right, you guys? So understand this. You're dealing with a damaged person, all right? And the reason that they feel so independent, the covert narcissist, is because somebody is feeding the covert narcissist. And that's usually other covert narcissistic siblings who are also toxic as well, who also are manipulating the covert narcissistic mother for their own financial benefit, all right? It happens all the time. I've seen it in families. It's so common. It's unbelievable. All right. So that's what it is. That's how you're going to know you're dealing with a covert narcissistic mother. If you got to deal with her, gray rock her. Don't tell her your personal business. Keep a distance because anything you say can and will be used against you, okay? Like in a court of law, they will never let you live it down. And then the other thing, too, I want to bring up, too, any little thing that you ever did for them, they will never acknowledge it. They'll always say it was nothing. It was nothing small. Like if you said, well, I did thank you. They'll never say, they'll say, oh, big deal, big deal. Everything's no big deal when you do it, okay? Because they don't want to give you any kind of credit. They don't want to give you validation or anything like that. But what they do is, you better walk on hot coals because you owe them your life. You owe that covert narcissistic mother your life. All right. So that's how it goes. I hope if I missed anything, you guys, put it in the comments to make people aware of what a covert narcissistic mother is. Drop it in the comments if I missed anything. All right. I hope that helps you. If it does, hit the subscribe button, share the podcast. Have a great day. If you're looking for confidential one-on-one phone coaching, check out the link in the bio at askyaz.wixsite.com/thegameexposed. I have limited time because I'm working on a book. The other thing, too, check out my YouTube. Over 6,000 videos. I lay it down all on YouTube. Also, you guys, TikTok is The Game Exposed. Instagram is The Game EXP123. And Facebook is The Game EXP777 for now. All right? Have a great day.